So we've known each other for 14 years.
14 years.
We met at church.
In the children's choir.
And we sang together, and we were altar servers.
My mother taught our CCD class, our Bible study class.
Yep. Yeah, we were really, really lucky because we were in a really loving community and a really open community.
Our priest was really supportive and open and very liberal. It was nice to have that kind of community and that kind of support from a very young age.
We were all there for each other, and
especially in a church setting, you know?
Yeah, because we were all we were coming together for a love of one God and one Spirit.
And each other.
And each other. So after growing up in such an amazing community, I guess my first real reality check was when we finally got confirmed.
It had been, you know, a long lead up. We'd taken CCD for years since I was in, first grade. So we finally get to this time, and I had kind of been, it was during middle school, and I'd been like figuring out that the Catholic Church was kind of this place that, you know, said that they supported, you know, loving your neighbor as yourself, and but like in actuality, in actual practice, the institution itself didn't actually accept everyone for who they were. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay with the church, but my mom said, well, just get confirmed, and then you can make your own decision and figure it out from there.
We go and we get confirmed, and we have this substitute bishop.
And he was this very old man who'd been in retirement for about 5-10 years.
And so this guy's like coming out of retirement to come and talk to us, a new crop of Catholic youth going out into the world to be good people, to be loving people the way we were taught in this church.
And he gave this homily, and the homily was all about, you know, loving your neighbors.
How you have to, as young people, you have to kind of band together and support each other because it's a really rocky time, and like we're coming into our own.
And at one point, I was sitting next to Addie, and at one point he started talking about gay people, and he said something along the lines of, well, you know, if you have gay friends, you should really not support them and tell them you love them, but try to get them help and let them know that that's not okay to be.
He basically said, don't let your friends be gay. It will be harder for them, it's against God's rules, you should support them and help them get help. But don't let your friends be gay.
And I remember sitting there, and it was so crazy because I was surrounded by this community of people that I had been with for years, and that I had loved and done choir with and been altar servers with, and all these parents and children, and sitting next to Addie, and it was just this weird moment where I was surrounded by all these people who loved me and accepted me for who I was, but I was being told that what I was wrong. And I like looked, and my uncle was like across the way, and he almost like walked out. He basically walked out. And I remember Addie grabbed my knee so hard and like wouldn't let go. She was dying.
And it blew my mind. And I remember just sitting there with Russell in the pew and being like, oh, I don't understand.
And it was just this, it was crazy that there are people in this world who feel like they can tell you who you are and who you should be, but can still preach to, you know, love everyone equally.
And it doesn't make sense to me. It never made sense to me, and it frustrated me.
And then at the end, my mom like tried to make me go over and thank the bishop for speaking or whatever, and I was like, no way. I
remember thinking, how could you teach? How could you be teaching someone to not let their friends accept themselves? How could you be teaching someone to tell their friends, I love you, but I don't love this part of you? If you love someone, you should love all of them. You should support all of them. You should be able to be there for all of them, because that's what friendship's about.
Even though I don't go to church anymore, I always appreciate what I learned at church and the community that I found there. I found this trans, so.
Gets better, but it won't just happen. You have to go out there and search for it. There are people out there that will love you, that will accept you, that will stand up for you and support you and love you for just who you are. But you have to find them. Even If you live in a small town out in the middle of nowhere, find your closest Gay Straight Alliance chapter. Hop on the internet. There's millions of people out there that are just waiting for you. Find the right people and make it happen. Build a better community for yourself. It gets better.
There are people in the world who are intolerant.
There are people in the world who are tolerant but judge.
Who are filled with discomfort and feelings of separateness.
There are people who will view you as the other.
Who will be bystanders to all sorts of horrible behavior.
Because of fear or refusal to sympathize.
But there are also people who love without judgment.
There are people that love other people in their entirety.
For their entire selves.
There are people who love like you.
No matter what gender you are.
No matter what gender you love.
You don't have to settle for tolerance.
You don't need to settle.
For people who don't help you in your times of need.
Or stand up for you when you need it.
You deserve better.
There are so many people in this country.
In this world.
And you can find your community.
It will get better.
It will get better.
If you make the effort to find your family.
Build a family.
A support system of people who love the whole you.
Friends who love with all the trimmings. Support, care, and understanding.
It gets better.
It gets better.
If you trust your ability to get through.
If you trust that yes, we are out here.
We are out here.
We are out here.
People who love.
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 Love!
Love.
Love.
Love in full. Love wholly. And people who are waiting to be loved. Just like you. Just like all of us.
It gets better.
If I kiss you where it shows